your source for information about your hometown and surrounding area. Tiger Talk is brought to you by Tiger Talk, brought to you by Strain Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton, Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street, and Katie's Delicious Homemade Goodness, and by Perry's Floors and More. Well, good morning at 8:05. Welcome to Tiger Talk here in your hometown radio station, WPKY, and we are continuing as we head toward the May 22nd primary election with this is a Meet the Candidate series. This is not a forum, as we preface going into this. This is just a way for the candidates running for office to come into the WPKY studios, introduce themselves, tell you, the listening audience, what they stand for and who they are and what they would like to achieve should they get elected to office. So that's kind of the gist on this situation here, and I have the pleasure of welcoming into the WPKY studios this morning our Caldwell County Judge Executive, Ellen Dunning. She's running for re-election as a Democrat, and she is here to talk about what she's done as Judge Executive and talk to our listening audience about what she sees for the future here in Caldwell County. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Ty. It's so nice of you to do this, and I appreciate the opportunity to be on the radio and talk to the citizens of Princeton. It's been a difficult campaign season in a way this year because I've been working full-time and I haven't been able to get out like I did 4 years ago and canvass almost every house in the county. But I have appreciated the ones I've been able to talk to, but I hope that our voters will understand that in my mind it's much more important to be doing the job they elected me to do than to be out campaigning. Now, my Saturdays have been pretty full of that, but, and I try not to campaign on Sundays, but I have been working to meet as many people and talk to as many people as I can. And if I have not spoken to you or if I have missed you, either left a card or whatever at your door, I certainly would appreciate your continued support. I've enjoyed tremendously the 3.5 years I've been here already. It's been a good situation, I think. I've met and learned so many more people than I already knew in the county. I have been able to talk to people about the things that concern them. And sometimes we can help. Sometimes we can't resolve all the situations to the way we'd like or the way they'd like, but at least we've tried to do our best to get our citizens taken care of.
Right.
There's been a lot has gone on in the last 3.5 years. I have learned so much about government, about the way things are run. And when I got into office, I was very naive. I thought that we could make this a perfect world. Well, this is not a perfect world. But we have come a long way. When I came into office, we were in pretty dire straits financially, and we are in much better shape right now because we have really tried to be financially responsible, and I've had a great court to work with. And for the most part, we agree on most things, and that makes it a lot easier to govern when we do have our agreements. And, people say, well, you've got a split court as far as we have 2 magistrates that are Republicans, 2 magistrates that are Democrats. Well, we don't have a split court because we do try to talk out everything and make sure that everybody understands correctly what we're doing and what has to be done. So it's been a really good working relationship for the most part, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. As I said, we are more financially stable now than we were 3.5 years ago, and that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good for the county. We were very concerned coming into this budget cycle that we're preparing for right now, because I'm sure everybody in this county has heard about the pension crisis in Frankfort and the pension crisis with the county and the state and the teachers, and it is a crisis. Excuse me. But we have we planned, and having some extra funds available has helped tremendously. And so our big things that we can't control too much are our fringe benefits for our employees. And so we've been real blessed that we've been able to take care of that without cutting back on a lot of other things right now. Now, in the future, if they continue to raise it like they have this year, that could be a different story. But that is one thing. Our financial stability is one thing that I'm really proud of. We've had a lot of things that we've had to deal with this last 4 years, like the first year I was in office, we realized the financial crisis the ambulance service was in. I probably lost more sleep over that one particular situation than anything else that I've had to deal with in office, any other single thing. We were able to go in and help stabilize the ambulance service. We were able to take it over as a county entity, and we had to buy a new ambulance right away. The ambulance fleet was in pretty bad shape. So we bought a new ambulance right away. We paid all the bills, and we got it back on stable footing. And then in 2016, about a year later, we were able to contract with ComCare, and that has been a real blessing. As you see, we've purchased 2 more ambulances. One of them should be delivered sometime within the next few weeks, because we should have it by the middle of June. So our ambulance fleet is in really good shape right now. So that was one thing that we cannot do without, is ambulance service. And we have more paramedics now than we had when the county had it. We have more EMTs. So we are in good shape there. And I speak regularly with Jim Duke, who is the owner of ComCare, and he has worked with us so well, and Mark Harrison and all the others that have come to help us out. So we really appreciate that. Gosh, there's so many things I could go on and on. Do you have any?
Well, I know a lot of citizens, when it comes to the fiscal court, when it comes to our magistrates, and it's about our roads. I mean, that seems to be number one, and I guess as you get out and travel the roads, I mean, it is tough. And then we come through a winter where there's lots of moisture, lots of freezing and reseason. You get potholes, you get all kinds of issues. But I guess the roads would be, at least as far as most citizens, that's probably a number one as far as.
You're exactly right. And that's what a lot of people think, that's the only job the magistrates have, is to help take care of the roads. But that's not factual either, because they are involved in practically every part of county government too. But you're right, the roads are our number one. We have more questions asked about the road. We have more concerns about the road, and we spend next to the general fund, where all the our safety things like the sheriff's office and elections and all that come from. The roads is our second highest budget item in the county. We spend almost $2 million a year on roads. Well, we probably spend more than that, but that's county funds. Our roads have suffered tremendously over this past winter. And we think, well, we only had one real snow issue, but we had a lot of rain, and what's happening is that water is causing a lot of issues with our roads. We've had a lot of repairs, and we're still not caught up with all the repairs that we've had to make on our roads. We have been blessed that we've received almost $1 million in extra funds from the state in the last 3.5 years. We've received extra money in flex funds, in discretionary money, in emergency money, and we're waiting right now for a final word on about $250,000 from the state on some roads that were damaged really badly during the winter, and hopefully we'll be receiving that money. It has passed all the tests that it had to go through, and it is now sitting on the governor's desk. And I'm sure that the governor has other things beside three main roads in Caldwell County that we need to work on. But we are getting ready to do some of our paving, and we've been doing coal patching all during the winter. So we're getting ready to ramp up again. This is the time of year that we always see lots of extra road work going on. But I think we are in better shape in many ways in our roads than we've been in a while. Some of them that aren't as widely traveled or don't have very many people living on them or whatever, may not have had the paving and all that. But the state looks, before we can do a lot of this, we have to be approved by the state. And the state looks at, first the condition of the road. They score the roads to see which ones need to be worked on first. And so they look to see the condition of the road.
So it's like a scoring system, you said?
Sure.
Okay.
It's a 1 through 10, with 10 being the worst, 1 being the best. And the roads that we're waiting for our discretionary money on, all were 8 and above, 8, 9, or 10. So that tells you the shape the state thought they were in.
Right.
But the number of homes on the road, the condition of the road, the safety of the road, is it narrow, is it curvy, is it whatever, So, and those are some of the things that they look at. But we have received, as I said, almost $1 million extra dollars in 3.5 years to spend on our roads. So I'm really pleased about that, and that's above and beyond what we normally receive for road money.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, you've been in office. What do you feel like is your greatest accomplishment since you've been in there?
Well, as I said, I think the ambulance service is one of my I feel better about than most anything else. Of course, the roads that we have been able to fix, I was really pleased that the county and the city working together were able to renovate the pool and out at the City County Park and get that back into working order after it had been closed for a couple years. And I do encourage everybody to use that facility because it is a facility that a lot of money was spent on. So I hope we're getting the benefit. I hope the community is using that pool the way it needs to be used. Another thing I'm really proud of that was started in the last administration, as far as some of the paperwork on it and the due diligence on it, but about the early 2016, we received word that we got the $1 million grant for Bright Life Farm, and that was to build a 4th house. And that's what's been uppermost in our mind for about the last year because we have started that. Well, we've almost completed it. We should be ready for residents this summer.
Wow.
We have our final walkthrough in a couple weeks. So if you've never been to Bright Life Farms, you need to go out there and see exactly what's going on out there. It's such a beautiful facility, and they've worked so hard to get it in the condition it is now. But this will be the 4th house, and it will be serve 8 new residents.
I was going to ask you, so 8 more.
Right, 8. Each of the houses have 8 residents, and then they have staff. So this house has 10 bedrooms and 10 baths. So if you can imagine what that entails just in daily work.
Quite a facility, yeah.
It's quite a facility. But the residents there do a lot of the work, and they're very, very proud of their home. And it is their home. It truly is. And so that's one of the things that that I'm really proud of. Another thing is the Lake Barkley Partnership was able to expand to 3 counties. We now are working with Caldwell, Lyon, and Crittenden counties to help bring more economic development into our region. Livingston County, we talked to them about joining us, and so hopefully one of these days we can get that done where they will be part of that too. But we have been able to go together and select a new economic development director. So we will have a full-time economic development director for these 3 counties, and I think everybody will be real excited when they make that announcement, who it is and what credentials they have. I think it's going to be a really good
deal.
Good
and
for
that's
our
already
region.
done. It just hasn't been
It's
announced.
already done,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to announce
Right.
it here.
No, right.
That's
Totally
not
understand
my.
that.
It's not my place to make that announcement.
Okay.
So let's see. Well, there's been lots of good things. Hydra Gear, since I've been here, has had an expansion, and they have hired several new people. So, and that continues to grow. We're really proud of that. Treehouse has come into its own as Treehouse since we've been here, and we're glad that we were able to continue to have those factories. We want to have more industry in the community, and we're doing what we can. We've also, through the IDA and the Lake Barkley Partnership, have been able to build a site-ready pad out at the industrial park. So it's a 200,000 square foot pad. So we could put anywhere between 75,000 and 100,000 square foot facility on that pad, and that would be a great advancement. And we've already had some people looking into that. I got a call just last week from the state and a company that's interested in at least looking and finding out what we have to offer. So those things are exciting. But, I enjoy the day-to-day, too. I enjoy talking to the citizens. I enjoy being able to communicate with them and see what's on their minds. And as I say, sometimes we can help and sometimes we can't. I get calls all the time from people that have situations that are completely under somebody else's control, like maybe the state or maybe it's a federal problem, but they know us, and so they call us for answers. And I always try to do what I can to find answers for people. There are just many, many, many things. I was really excited when UK Research Center expanded, and I think we're going to see really, really good things for Caldwell County from that, and for the whole state of Kentucky. And that's what it's all about. It's not just us. It's about our surrounding counties, and it's about our whole state and our nation. So, the more we can do locally, grassroots levels, the better off the whole state will be, and the better off Caldwell County will be.
No doubt about it. Let's take a quick break. We've got a chance to catch our breath here for a second. We've been through, it's already 23 past the hour, and we'll come back. We'll summarize a little bit, talk about a few more things, and then it'll be time.
And I can go to work.
Yeah, you can head on back down to the courthouse and get rolling. So thank you so much. We'll take a quick break here on Tiger Talk. We have the pleasure of having in studio this morning our Caldwell County Judge Executive Ellen Dunning. She's running for re-election on the Democratic ticket for Judge Executive of Caldwell County. And we'll be back after this. You're listening to Tiger Talk on your hometown radio station, WPKY The Tiger. String Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks. Stop by Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon and enjoy a pick-me-up. You can also enjoy fresh-baked scones, homemade chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies, and espresso brownies that'll keep you going all day long. They're also open on Saturday from 9 to 2. String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton. Great coffee and more in a great atmosphere on Lower Main in downtown Princeton. All right, we are back on Tiger Talk. It is 8:25, and Caldwell County Judge Executive Ellen Dunning in studio this morning. Again, we are meeting the candidates. The May 22nd primary election will be here next week, a week from today.
7 days and counting.
7 days and counting. So I'll turn the floor back to you and let you kind of summarize and wrap up your time here on WPKY this morning.
Well, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And again, I want to thank you for offering this opportunity to all the candidates, because it is a forum that, not a forum, but it is an opportunity for us to get our message out, and we so appreciate what you all do. In the coming 4 years, my goal is I want to work more, and we already work together, but I want to work more with Princeton and Fredonia. Fredonia is sometimes a forgotten jewel that we have in the northern part of our county, and I have been working some with them on different projects and trying to attend their city councils periodically, as I do the Princeton City Council periodically. But I think it's important that they're both in our county. Our county needs to work together and remember that everybody is a part of the county, not just this section or that section or whatever. I think it's important that I continue to maintain good relationships with our state and area development offices. I have been honored to be on the executive committee of the PAD office in Hopkinsville for the whole 4 years that I've been judge. It gives us a leg up on being able to see what's going on around the state and around the nation. And it's very important that we continue a good relationship with them. They provide so many services. They help us write grants. They make sure we have maps we need and all that sort of thing. So that's very important. And it's very important that I keep good communications with the Transportation Department. Knowing people in the Transportation Department is so important for our county. When I go to meetings and trainings and this sort of thing, I always try to talk to as many people as I can, because that's what it's all about, networking with other people in the state and the state government, but the people in our state that have similar positions, magistrates, judges, whatever. And that does help a lot, because there's no reason for us to be out there alone. As a fairly new judge now, I had questions, and I always found mentors that I could go to that have been in this business a lot longer than me that could help, and that's been important. Our economic development, we have to continue our efforts and do what we need to do to continue to try to bring in new companies, whether it be small businesses, whether it be large businesses, whatever it is, we need to continue our economic development. And probably one of the most important things I see is open communications with the citizens. I want everybody to know that I'm there for the county. I'm blessed to have a wonderful family, but they're grown up. And I don't have the responsibilities of small children like a lot of people might have. I don't think any of our candidates do now, but I'm able to spend my time on the business of the county. So that's important. I just do want to say at this point, I want to thank my husband, because he's been remarkable during this campaign. He's been my backbone and my hands and my feet, and especially since this foot thing has come along. For those that can't see this boot.
The judge is in a boot.
Yes, the judge is in a boot, and she limps a lot. But I do want to thank him and my children for all the support they gave me and are giving me. But I have to do a special shout out to my mom, because my mom's in the nursing home, and this is just absolutely driving her nuts that she can't get out and campaign with me. And for everybody that knows my mom, Barbara Van Hooser, they know she loves to campaign and she loves to talk.
And there's a classic, long time servant to the public.
Exactly.
And she knows exactly what it's like.
She does.
Yeah.
And she told me, she told me just yesterday, I want to be out there with you, and I said, well, Mom, your prayers and your thoughts and all the campaigning you've done in this nursing home is just fine. That's what great. You've done. So, but I do want to thank the citizens of Caldwell County for giving me this opportunity. And I would just ask that you would give me another 4 years, and so that I can complete some things I've started, and we can just continue to make Caldwell County the kind of place we all want to live and raise our children, and a place that we can make sure our children want to come back to.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you,
It's been a pleasure having you, and that's Judge Executive Ellen Dunning running for election on the Democratic ticket for Judge Executive of Caldwell County, the May 22nd primary. And good luck.
Thank you. And I just want to remind everybody, don't forget to vote, and your vote matters. Every vote matters. It's a responsibility and a right that we have that we don't want to lose.
That's exactly right. Well, thank you so much. Have a
Thank
wonderful day.
you.
Thanks for being here. All right, we're going to